Everyday precautions during corona pandemic. Sneeze or cough. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue or use your elbow. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Keep at least 6 feet between yourself and others if you must be in public. Clean and disinfect surfaces around your home and walk frequently. Wear a cloth face covering over your mouth and nose when around others. Composting is the best way to recycle garbage. This is what we do when we compost. We put together compostable materials to make a great soil amendment. Composting is part of the earth's biological cycle and decay. Actually, composting is recycling. If we put together our daily wastes into a specific bin or field, these are composted and recycled into variable nutrients that can benefit soil and plants. What can I compost? Fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds and tea bags, paper, pizza boxes, hair, deadly spiders, which are turned into useful things from garbage. What you cannot compost: coffee cup, paint wastes, styrofoam, any type of plastic bag, any type of container made of plastic that contain food. This is the process of making compost. Choose a dry piece with 3:3:3 dimensions. Secondly, add the ingredients and water as needed. Keep things moving and wait a while.
Do you remember in a day how many times you throw trash in a dustbin? Several items you throw all kinds of wastes in it. Leftover food, paper, pencil shavings, rubber, broken toys, and what not. If you continue trashing for a few days, can you imagine what the bin would look like? How unhygienic that would be? So every morning, you either enter the garbage or sweeper for collecting the trash. Food waste has a big impact for environment and it releases methane is so harmful gas. The best thing we do when our food are enjoyed, we can collect food for recycle. Have you wanted to know how is recycling? Your food waste is mixed with carbon waste, crushed it and compost in a tunnel for 2 to 4 weeks. Higher temperature is above 70 degrees Celsius can form any types of microorganism. After 1 and 3 months, it checked its quality that is it ready to use on farms and gardens.
Cow dung? Do you think this is waste? Well, this isn't waste. This manure can be transformed as biogas. Especially, it is widely used for the generation of methane gas. Methane generation is accomplished by anaerobic digestion inside of a digester plant. What takes place in the anaerobic digester? Inside an anaerobic digester, naturally occurring microorganisms like bacteria grow in the tank, oxygen-free environment and break down organic matter. As the organic matter decomposes, methane is created. Once established in a digester, microorganisms will continue to break down organic materials and release biogas in the right conditions. Biogas is made up of mainly methane, carbon dioxide with small amounts of water vapor. This methane is energy-rich biogas that can be used as biofuels or to generate heat, light or electricity. This process involves 4 different phases. They are hydrolysis, acidogenesis, acetogenesis, and methanogenesis. At first, bacteria consumes the organic matter in the manure and break them into polymers. Then in step 2, bacteria convert them into organic acid. In step 3, different bacteria then take the simple acid and convert them into methane biogas. In step 4, the biogas can be burned to produce power. This methane can be used as fuel, fertilizer, heat, electricity, gas grid, and so on.
Worm is a type of earthworm. Let us understand the process of vermicomposting. First, we need to dig a pit about 30 cm deep. If it is not possible to find the place to dig a pit, we can even use a wooden box. This box should be placed where the temperature neither hot nor cold. Spread a net or chicken mesh at the bottom of the box. We can also spread 1 or 2 cm thick layer of sand at the bottom layer of the box. Now we need to spread some vegetable waste include green leaves, animal dung, pieces of newspaper, husk. Remember, plastic coated or shiny paper should not be used. Now water should be sprinkled to make the layer moist, but care should be taken that we do not use excess water. Also the layer of waste not be pressed. In fact, it should be kept in the loose so that it has sufficient air and moisture. Now we need to cover the box with old sheet of cloth. Before covering the worms, we need to keep some food for them. The food may include fruit vegetables, peels, coffee powder, tea powder, weights. Remember that waste that contain meat, milk, salt, pickle, oil, vinegar should not be used for the worms.
A landfill is a site for the disposal of waste materials which are generated by hospitals, markets, household, industries, and so on. All this waste gets collected, some of this gets sorted, but in the end, what's left gets thrown outside the city in a landfill. And what happens after that? Landfills can produce objectionable odors and thus harm the environment slowly and very severely. Any types of waste gets dissolved by the actions of microorganisms, and finally the layer that rises largely methane and carbon dioxide. Both are greenhouse gases that causes global warming. Over 1000-year time period, methane can be 25 times as harmful as carbon dioxide. However, if we start managing our waste, what if this crisis could be turned into an opportunity? What if we could use it as a fuel? Scientists around the globe have been thinking about turning the crisis into wealth. There is an effective solution called landfill gas cleaning and flaring technology. The technology was put to work in a landfill which was burdened with years of wastes. A series of wells were dug into the landfill, and with the help of a blower and a vacuum system, methane and other harmful gases can be extracted out of the landfill. By the help of a meter, the central operating unit estimates the amount of gases. So, how will the real LFG works? By capturing the gases, we can use it to generate electricity, cook food, or even run cars. Generating a single megawatt of LFG energy is equal to planting 1,000 acres of forest, removing emissions of vehicles, or stopping the use of oil everywhere. So ultimately, the extraction of LFG will not only help us in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but also helps us in turning the never-ending problem into renewable sources of energy.